Welcome everybody to the Latiners Network course, the watch list, your virtual TV guide here. Every Sunday where we review and talk about all the shows that get dropped across all streaming platforms, and we'll set you up with what's all coming out next week. It's a very, very big week next week, so stay tuned towards the end of the show. Of course, I'm not alone here. I'm joined by my usual co-host, ambassador of all things love, live from Houston, the TV guru himself, Senor Jaime, aka Chewy. How you doing?
Hey, brother, I got this strange case of deja
Little
vu, man.
deja
I don't
vu.
know why.
Yeah. I see the black cat going. We had a little technical
Yeah.
issue, so we're doing the show again for the second time. Practice makes perfect. What can I tell you? But that being said, before we get to today's shows or this week's release shows, a couple of announcements here. First of all, very happy to see that our last show was our highest viewed show by large margins. So we're very excited about that. Hoping we can keep this up. And again, this is a show you want to see what's a comprehensive take on all the reviews and stuff that's coming out, what's coming out every week. This is a show you want to tune to. Support us. We appreciate it. Subscribe, share it to your friends, etc., etc. So we thank you for that, for the support. Latiners Network. We got to support Latino brethren out there. I know you're out there. Hook us up. Second announcement, we have a new show that dropped on this very network. It's called Thanos Choice. This is where we have a good time. We debate and discuss between a couple of things from either TV or the movie world where, we compare, for example, we did the Matrix franchise versus the Back to the Future franchise, and comedic giants Eddie Murphy versus Jim Carrey, and we can figure out which one deserves to stay and which one gets snapped out of existence. It's a very fun show. We enjoy doing it. We'll bring it to you every couple of weeks. You catch that here on the network, of course. And last thing, Chewy, I know I've talked about this before, but I got a bone to pick here. Good old buddies over at Netflix, and now the producers of Squid Game. They recently announced a sequel, naturally, to a Squid Game. No big surprise there. But where is my check? Netflix? Check the mail.
Residuals? Anybody?
Where's
Anybody?
my piece of the pie? I'm not a greedy guy. I want a little taste. If y'all remember, weeks before anybody was talking about Squid Game, where everybody thought Squid Game was some reality fishing show on Animal Channel or Planet or Discovery Channel, some nonsense. No, I was talking about it in this very chair, recommending the show, and since then it became Netflix's biggest show. Coincidence? Maybe. Was it because of me? I'm not saying all that, but I think I deserve a little extra in my pocket. That's all
Show
I'm
me the
saying.
Quan.
Yeah, a little respect, please. That's all I'm asking here. Okay, this is why you watch the show, because I give you tidbits like Squid Game before anybody else is talking about Squid Game. And how about another show coming out next week? I'm not saying it's as big as that. Another show that you should be excited about, which I think Chewy, even you forgot to mention to me in the week. But that being said, I got that out of the way. I digress. Chewy, let's get on with this week's release. And as always, we'll start with the films. We got one film and three shows that came out. And let's start with the first one here, and that's on Netflix. We got the Marvel DC crossover, Red Notice, starring Black Adam. We got Deadpool, and of course Wonder Woman together. In this kind of a part heist, comedy, action, and a whole lot of sprinkled '90s action cheese on top for a delightful little meal. And I found this one to be very entertaining, Chewy. I liked what I saw here, and this was a good. Like I always say in Netflix, right? 10% crap, 30% watchable, solid films, and 60% garbage, right? 10% good movies. This one lies right in the middle of that 30%, right? I thought, you got The Rock, Ryan Reynolds. I mean, what's not to love? I mean, come on, dude. I love this guy. I mean, Ryan Reynolds is the same fucking guy that he is anyway, right? I mean, just it
Doesn't
doesn't
change.
change.
Ah, his his repertoire of characters is pretty consistent.
Yeah, jokey and a lot of references. That's who he is. Listen, I love it. Don't get me wrong. I don't change. If you got something that works, just do it until we get tired of it. I'm not quite there yet. And Rock, of course, the Rock is the Rock, and Gal Gadot's having funny. And this is one where I have Gal Gadot who plays someone named I guess a code named the Bishop. She's the world's most sought after, most wanted art thief. Ryan Reynolds is second place, and Dwayne Johnson is an FBI agent who's chasing down Ryan Reynolds. And circumstances occur where Gal Gadot's character kind of tricks him to get him out of the way as they're all pursuing the three golden eggs that belong to Cleopatra. So it's kind of a, like I said, heist action comedy film. And I enjoyed this one, man. It's compared to last week's They Harder They Fall. This was a much more enjoyable film.
By
Yeah, I
far.
mean, it's not listen, this is not a great way to stretch imagination. A lot of plot holes, conveniences, etc., etc. But listen, it's a good time, dude. The action's cool. The Rock and this guy, they're so great together, great chemistry. And you saw a little bit of it. You mentioned Chewie and Hobbs and Shaw last week. We talked about
Oh
that.
yeah, man. He had a couple of cameos with The Rock there, and so That's what I expected, and that's what I got, man. Great on-screen chemistry. I mean, we got a plethora of pop culture jokes, and then some cool action. Uh, as Rick Sanchez would say, "You son of a bitch, I'm in, dude."
Exactly.
This was the triple Lindy of heist and twist.
The old reference that one guy knows out there besides ourselves, those who are familiar with Roger Dangerfield, the classic Back to School '80s, classic '80s film.
Yeah,
Um,
with Iron
with Iron
Man
Man, yeah.
and Oingo Boingo,
Jesus, Iron Man.
Dead Man's Party.
Jesus Christ, it's amazing how far Iron Man's come. Robert Downey Jr. since then, I think he had the blue hair in the movie, and he's like a punk guy or
Oh my God,
something
yeah,
like
yeah,
that. Very young,
it's crazy.
pre-drugs, pre-Iron Man for sure. But yeah, this is an enjoyable film. I liked it. I had a good time with it. Like I said, it's not it's not gonna blow you out of the water, but it's a fun time. And maybe there's a sequel to it, maybe there's not. The numbers will tell us a story later. But I
Yeah.
enjoyed it. I think it's definitely worth a watch. This is a great Saturday night, Sunday night film. Good time. I think even I
Absolutely.
think the whole family. It's pretty clean as far as I'm concerned. There's no,
No, yeah,
yeah,
PG-13, so
yeah.
there's nothing to worry about as far as what's good. I'm gonna say it's not a Disney Plus movie, but it's PG-13, so it's relatively safe.
No, exactly. So yeah, definitely a good time. Definitely recommend from both hours. So this is one I definitely recommend that
Hmm.
you guys check out and all that. So I'm gonna move on to a show here, which I know Chewy you're not familiar with. You're not a fan of Dexter, or at least I'm not a fan. You just haven't seen it.
Hmm.
I am, of course. The last season just dropped the first episode of the last season, the redo, if you will, season dubbed New Blood, the title of it. Of course, listen, the last season of Dexter was mixed. The ending, although not quite Game of Thrones bad, it left a lot to be desired. So I'm glad they're kind of taking a chance to reboot this and finish it off the right way. That remains to be seen. I'll probably do a separate full review of the series when it ends on 8-9 weeks from now. I think it's 8 to 10 episodes. I don't remember. But not just want to kind of touch base in the first episode because I'm kind of curious. I'm a big fan of Dexter. I really like the show a lot. And I was kind of curious where they're going to take this. And the first 30 minutes, 35 minutes, it's a little bit different, right? We got Dexter. It's about 10 years later from the events of the finale on season 8, and he's living out there in some lake town in Utah or something like that. He's humble little sports store or employee, and doing his own thing. It's just he's trying to be as isolated as he can for the most part. He knows everyone. It's a small town. People know him as a different name. The name Dexter to him is long gone. He's suppressing that the hunger, right? That his dark passenger. He used to reference it back in the show, and we don't even get the familiar narration that we got from Dexter from the early episodes. So it's kind of an interesting take on this Dexter. I wasn't sure. I knew they were going to set this up. I'm like, where's the Dexter that we know here? There's one familiar character we have. He's imagining his sister. He used to imagine his dad Harry. Now it's his sister who passed away in the last season. She's his conscience now, kind of keeping an eye on him, so to speak, as he try to maintain himself. From opening up the can of worms, which we know Dexter does. I was kind of curious. Okay, where's this going? Where's the setup here? Because they do a lot of setup, but finally, about a 35th minute, 40th minute in, we get what we get from Dexter. Right? Events occur. Things happen that bring him back to Dexter we know. The narration comes back, and the tone shifts to what we know of Dexter. So I really like that, and I like the approach they took to get him back, right? To bring him back from his isolation, back to what he normally does. His son comes back, who he hasn't seen in 10 years. So that was a good twist to the show. So it's an addition to the show. So I'm really enjoying it. I guess only one episode. It's really good. I'm hoping they can maintain the quality we got from particularly the first 4 seasons of Dexter, which are fantastic. So looking forward to it. You guys should definitely check it out. Of course, that's on Showtime every Sunday. So, Chewy here, we're going to move to you now because I did a show which, I'm not too familiar with. And that's Gentified. Of course, that's on Netflix,
Hmm. Hmm.
season 2. So, kind of talk a little bit about this, what's this about, and how's it going so far in season 2?
Well, it's obviously it revolves around a family, Mexican immigrants, or more the dad than obviously the kids are born here. But it's a play on gentrification, right? Where companies, individuals will come into existing neighborhoods, buy a property, change it, mold it, face it, and you kind of lose what that neighborhood was in a sense. But that's part of progress, right? But it revolves around primarily the dad, the father figure, and having a restaurant and the comedy that ensues, and we get into issues as far as a little bit of racism, a little bit of um, I completely lost my thought. Sorry.
It
just
happens.
the dynamics, yeah, just dynamics of raising a family, dealing with new families, relationships, traditional. and LGBTQ and everything involves. And so it's more comedy than dramedy. It's fun, it's light, it's good filler, I would think, and kind of plays off on some current things and some that make you kind of think as far as how things impact in society, especially from a Latin perspective.
True, which we're all about here. But it's probably one I probably want to catch up on all that. And a lot of times, just to, when we say filler, that's not a bad word, right? Filler is a good thing. Filler is the majority of the shows out there are probably filler, what I would consider filler. How we categorize it here. We got your must watch, which is a very small percentage, right? The shows that we can be different for everybody, but for you that you love, you definitely gonna watch no matter what. You look forward to, you're excited about, or shows that just come out of nowhere and surprise you. Something like like Mayor of Easttown we saw earlier this year, Chewy, or Doctor Death on Peacock a few months ago. That just catch you by surprise. Like, man, this is a must watch show, but it's rare. Most shows are filler. The good, solid shows worth watching if you have the time. You watch it in between your must watches. Those are the kind of shows you want to gravitate to. So when we say filler, not a bad thing. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
Anything below filler is just crap. We say we'll watch 3 episodes and it's not
Don't
worth it.
waste your time.
Yeah, it's a lot of too much good shows out there to make you guys waste your time on. We don't waste my time on. I'll give it 3 episodes. If it's not working, I move on because there's so much good stuff and there's a lot of good filler out there. Nothing wrong with that. The last one here, this is an interesting one, Troy. I'm kind of curious to see what you think about this one. This one came out on Apple Plus. And that is, of course, The Shrink Next Door, which looked promising. We had 2 big stars here. We got Paul Rudd, who I love, had his deal with the devil and looks like exactly like he did in Clueless. And we have Will Smith, comedic giant who did not make a deal with the devil because he looks old as crap.
Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell, sorry.
Not Will Smith.
Yeah, that's Will Smith.
Wait
a minute. Wrong Will. There's a huge difference between one and the
Close.
other. I apologize to Will Ferrell. I didn't want to insult you by calling you Will Smith. I like Will Smith. I'm just kidding. I'm not chilling him in Bel Air any day of the week. Yeah, he knows that. But Will Ferrell here. So, it's based on a podcast of the same name, which I guess was a nonfiction podcast. So I would assume it's a true story or whatever the case is.
Based on true events,
right?
Yes,
true characters or whatever. And I guess Paul Rudd is a psychiatrist and who's helping Will Ferrell, who's got issues to say at least. His sister kind of makes him go see a psychiatrist because he's panic attacks and no confidence.
He's not one. But no, I think he is just anti-confrontation to the nth degree.
Big time, yeah.
Yeah, so it's I don't think it's a matter of confidence. He just does not respond to confrontation whether with his existing ex-girlfriend or even a longtime customer at his shop. He just can't do it. Will not do it.
Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Yeah.
No more cowbell.
It's bad. So yeah. Okay. So they dropped 3 episodes. There's gonna be 3 episodes now, and then every week. I don't know how I feel about the show yet, too. I was not impressed. If this is being billed as a comedy, it fails in every level because this is not a funny show. It's not. It's got some times where you kind of smile, might chuckle a little bit here and there. Particularly in the 3rd episode is a cool scene. I'm not sure if you're there or not, but they're watching this play Jesus Christ Superstar. Of course, this takes in the 80s, which explains that, right? It's a story I guess spans from the 80s all the way to the current times. It starts off in 2010s and now it goes back to 1982 or
82
when they first meet and whatever. The relationship goes from there. And apparently Paul Rudd's character, the psychiatrist, is going to be taking advantage of him. Take advantage of his personality because he's very nice and giving. So he's he kind of befriended him, have an unusual relationship for psychiatrist-patient relationship, and apparently he's going to take advantage of that and things will escalate from there. But yeah, it wasn't a funny show. I don't know if it's meant to be funny. I'm not sure. Tonally, it's kind of all over the place. I think it's trying to be at times to be funny. Didn't quite hit for me. It's okay. I mean, the dramatic points aren't that dramatic. It's just I don't know the show exactly knows what it wants to do, what it wants to be here. And I use an example like, Only Murders in the Building, which we love, right? Talk about must watch, right, on Hulu.
Absolutely.
That show balanced comedy and the good dramatic parts so well, right? And it seemed natural, organic, wasn't forced. Here, I'm not getting that vibe. I mean, you have 2 guys. You got Will Ferrell and Paul Rudd. These are great performers, right? Particularly in comedy. They're no strangers to that, obviously. So, and I don't know. I'm just not getting with it. I'm not saying I'm getting off it. It's still an interesting story. I kind of want to see what happens because it's not a bad show. I just don't know if it's one that I can really recommend right now. Chew, your thoughts on that?
Well, it's not Ted Lasso.
Well, come on. This is a far cry from Lasso,
So
I'll tell you right now. Yeah,
yeah,
by far.
yeah. I mean, with Lasso, I laugh and you get the full range of emotions. This one, I'm not sure. I mean, I thought this was supposed to be a comedy or a funny take on this story, and there's it starts, introduction of characters. Okay, fine, but that first episode ends like he's burying the cow that they saw back in 1982 that he said I wanted to get one day, and so this is I feel like this is going to a very dark place. It's not a happy
That's
show.
what the vibe I'm
So,
getting, and I think I may be wrong here. I haven't seen the marketing material that much. I saw a quick trailer like months ago.
yeah.
I think it's being billed as a comedy. I don't know, a dramedy, but if it is, then it's a
Maybe I
failure. I
assume.
mean,
Maybe I assume.
maybe. I mean,
Maybe it's not meant to be a comedy.
maybe.
Cause
You see
yeah.
Paul Rudd or Will Ferrell. Okay,
Yeah, I see. Well, Farrell, I'm not thinking, the next Tom Hanks. I mean,
right.
Tom Hanks started with Bosom Buddies, which obviously we loved way back in the day. But Will Ferrell is not Tom Hanks, so I don't know what to make of what's going on
Yeah,
here.
it's just a weird tone. Because there's times where it's trying to be funny, and it works every so often. But I don't know. It's just a weird show. I don't know what it is, and maybe it's just me. You kind of seem to be in the same wavelength. Would you recommend this is one you recommend right now?
I mean,
Honestly.
I don't know. I mean, I've only seen one episode,
Okay.
so
Okay. Fair enough.
I haven't seen two and three yet. So I saw the first one last night. Yeah, there was a couple of fights. I mean, the scene with this girlfriend, where obviously there's a scene where, while they were going out, he promised to take her to Mexico, and now they break up, and she's still expecting a trip to Mexico,
Right.
and so
And he's
and
almost went to give it to her.
yeah,
That's the sad part.
and then Power starts negotiating, pretend to be his lawyer negotiating. First he's on the phone saying, "How about I check the Poughkeepsie? How about?" And like Power's like, "No, no,
Right.
no. There is no Mexico. There is no trip. There is nothing."
Yeah,
And so
that was a
that was
funny
kind
scene.
of
That
fun.
was a good scene. Like I said,
Yeah,
this scenes like that every so often. But
yeah.
it's just not enough, and it's a weird show. I'm not recommend. I'm gonna circle back to it next week, Chewy, just to kind of just a quick thoughts on
Yeah,
Jay or
see the
Nay.
fourth
By the time
episode.
there'll
Yeah,
be four out, you may have seen. We'll be seeing the fourth
yeah.
one. So right now it's a no for me. Not a bad show. It's not a terrible show. It's not, but it's
Mhm.
just there's just too much stuff on TV. Like I said,
It's not invasion,
it's not
so that's
well.
got that working for.
It's invasion esque, which is also on Apple Plus, which I'm so off, and it's along the same lines to be honest with you. I'm gonna give it one more. The three episodes didn't quite. Let's see that maybe the fourth one gets a little more interesting. I mean, just a story. It doesn't have to be funny. Give me a cool story, engaging story, and I'm okay with that. I really am. Maybe I'll wash off this idea that this is supposed to be a comedy, right? And get into the friends. Oh, this is just a drama, right? And then maybe put myself in the right mindset to watch the show. But yeah,
Maybe,
I'm on
maybe.
the fence. It's just too much good TV out there to kind of spend on something like this.
Okay, yeah.
Absolutely for the time being. But I'll circle back with you on that one. So that being said, Troy, that's what got released this week. So it's a yes for Red Notice, a big yes for
Mhm.
Dexter, a yes for Gentified from your end, of course, and it's right now it's a no for the Shrink Next Door. We'll circle back just to see for you if it got better over the last couple
Yeah.
episodes that got dropped. That being said, we talk about next week because next week is a monster week. Um, Big time. And let's start with a couple of shows here because even the list that you gave me, Chewy, is a couple that you missed that I wanted to see.
Probably. Yeah.
It's a big week. I think it was like 8 shows total, movies and shows, which is one of the most we've had. So a lot of juggling, watching all this stuff for, and there's some that I tell you now I'm not going to watch because it doesn't interest me. And some things I just I missed this first season or whatever. So stuff from the beginning. And Chewy, you didn't have this one, but we talked about a show recently, Paraíso, Paradise, Spanish show on HBO Max. HBO Max was kind of pushing this same day international release with throughout the worldwide as international shows bringing it here to HBO Max in the States, and they have one called Kamikaze. I believe it's a Danish show that's coming out on the 14th on HBO Max.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about 25 minutes long episodes, 8 episodes. I'm not sure if they're all dropping at once. HBO usually does once a week, or 3, and then once, a week,
Well,
depending.
I mean, with Paradise, they dropped three and then four. It was a weird how
Right,
they did it.
yeah.
I don't
So
understand it. Yeah.
I can't tell you how many they're gonna drop. But that being said, it's gonna be a total of 8 episodes, 25 minutes, and it's about this girl who she's 18 years old and she's like a social influencer or whatever in fashion or something like that. And all of a sudden, her parents and her brother die in a plane crash in Africa. She's left in the wake of trying to pick up the pieces and mourning that situation. From what I heard, this was screened at one of the film festivals. They got a lot of good buzz on this one, so it caught my attention. It's kind of a dramedy that she's kind of going through changes and learning how to be on her own, and things occur and situations that she gets involved in. And this thing's actually, despite the fact that it's pretty heavy with the death of a family and dealing with that, it's a lot of good comedic moments in here. So I'm looking forward to this. This is one that most people probably don't have on the radar. And this is exactly why you watch this kind of show with us here, because this is the shows that we give you and we'll let you know if you should watch them or not. But Chewy, look out for this one. It comes on the 14th. Again on HBO Max, 25 minutes long, so it's not bad. You can probably watch a couple in 3 to 1 hour and decide whether you want to keep watching it or not. So look out for that. The second one, Netflix. And we got shows across all platforms this week. This is pretty impressive. We got Tiger King season 2 on the 17th. Listen,
back to the Oklahoma trash.
I'm that guy. I'm not with the show. I'm him. I'll raise my hand. I didn't get it. Everybody talked about it. I jumped on it. I didn't understand what the fuck I'm watching. It's not good. That's just me. It's got a lot of fans. I get it. So I want to let you guys know it is coming out for you on the 17th. I won't be watching it. We won't be talking about it on the show, but doesn't mean you guys can't enjoy it, because I know it's got a big following and all that. So it is what it is. Paramount Plus, we don't say that very often here at all. This may be the first time we say it, Chewy. Yeah, maybe I'm wrong.
No, second time. We talked about the movie, the Mark Wahlberg Infinite, yes. Which was not good.
Yeah, I heard that's crap. Yeah. But yeah, Paramount Plus on the 18th, we have Star Trek Discovery, season 4, right? 4? Season 4, yes.
Okay.
Season 4. I don't watch it, so it's not one we're probably going to talk about in the show, but you could be a fan of it, be aware of it. Chewy, do you watch this or no? Out of curiosity.
I watched the first 3 seasons, but I didn't want to buy Paramount Plus again. I'm going to wait till either get one of these free deals or wait till the show's already out before I watch it. Because I'd probably get it when Picard comes out, because I enjoyed Picard just for the nostalgia
factor. Picard was fine. It was cool. Yeah. But yeah, Discovery.
This one,
I heard mixed about this show.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I haven't heard good thing. I've heard depends who you ask. But it's very mixed.
I like the first 2 episodes. Season 3 was okay, and so I'm gonna wait.
I figure. Yeah, like I said, but it's worth mentioning because it is coming out, and I'm sure it has its fans out there. And anytime we get a chance to mention Paramount Plus, why not? Because it's very good, ready going to happen. This show, I'll tell you right now. Then we have this is I separated these two. These to me are the 2 big ones. Kamikaze is too. I'm very interested in that. But we got two shows, both on Netflix. The first one, which we know, is Cowboy Bebop, which drops on the 19th, based off the anime.
Bebop?
Yeah, the trailer looked really cool. It's kind of a Western style, real life anime of I guess it's bounty hunters and space, in space and whatever, in different galaxies and blah blah blah.
Bounty hunting in space.
Yeah, so I'm a fan of the anime. It's good. I enjoy it. So it's interesting to see what kind of take they have on this one. So I'm looking forward to it. There has been some early reviews on it. It's still on the embargo, but it's gotten some good reviews. Not great, but good reviews for whatever that's worth. I think Chewy, you're looking forward to this one too, I assume. So
absolutely,
we'll definitely be talking about this one for sure. So look out for it next week. The other one, Chewy, this one you didn't know about. Maybe you do, but you didn't mention it. Same day, the 19th. 19th is a busy day. Just getting started, the 19th here. And that's Hellbound on Netflix. Netflix is a Korean show, and it caught my attention because it's the same director who did Train to Busan, which I love. Yeah, it has a big following, that film, the zombie film in the train, which got a lot of love. It's so good. So he's bringing this to himself. So this is one, it's got some supernatural elements. I saw a quick trailer, like 2 seconds. I'm like, okay, I'm in. I'm good. And I saw who did it. That's all I need to know, right? Korean shows have been hitting well lately with Squid Game. Of course, My Name's another one that I really liked on Netflix that came out after Squid Game. This one here, I guess they're just things, beings or creatures or what supernatural things that kind of bring you down to hell. So now there's this faction that gets being created to counteract that or something like that. So it looks very interesting. There's always a nice visual flair of some of these Korean shows, particularly from this director. So this I'm really excited about. This I know that most people probably won't know. I'm really looking forward to hopefully this is good. I'm definitely going to make this a priority.
I don't want another Sisyphus, dude. I'm just saying.
This Squid Game. That's all I got to say. They just said Netflix.
Okay. We'll see.
But again, it looks cool for what it's worth. Doesn't mean it is, but we'll find out next week. The other ones, there's 3 more, all on the 19th as well. So just 5 things on next one. Fridays, this weekend's busy. Me and Chewy going to do a lot of work here. First, we got a movie, King Richard. Of course, with Will Smith, not to be confused with Will Ferrell. But he's obviously playing the father of tennis great Serena and Venus Williams. So it's kind of an autobiographical kind of thing. I heard good things about it. So that's going to be on HBO Max. Amazon Prime here. We haven't touched on them in a little bit. A show called The Wheel of Time. based off this
Yeah.
long series books, right? Chewie is kind of his, I don't know, Lord of the Rings esque kind of vibe. Am I wrong in
I
that?
mean, well, I don't know, which is revered more. Honestly, I didn't read. I mean, I read one of the Middle Earth books because they were so long and verbose, and it was just too much. And I didn't read any of the Wheel of Time ones, but I hear it's a fairly popular series. So Amazon paid some coin to get these properties, and
Really?
so
There's more money than this guy's couch, Bezos, whatever his
I
name
know
is.
this. I know
He
this.
found underneath the
Uh,
refrigerator. Oh, hey, here's $500 million I'm
he
not
found
using.
he found it going into space. That's where he found this extra money.
Right. So,
But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I don't know what to expect, but I'm into fantasy, and
yeah,
so
this is one we'll
let's
definitely.
watch.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
be talking about this one next week, guaranteed. This is one the trailers haven't done it for me, but doesn't mean anything,
Mhm.
right? So, and
Yeah.
the last one's on Hulu. I have Netflix. I don't know why, but it's on Hulu. Also on the 19th. I'll make a quick correction, and there we go, like magic.
Yeah.
Season 2 of
Ta-da!
the Great. Not familiar with it. I didn't see the first season.
Uh,
Chewy, I believe you are. So
you
can I tell you
should
about it? Go ahead.
you should watch the first season.
Really?
Stars Nicholas Holt, aka Beast,
Beast, yeah.
and one of the Dakota sister,
It's
younger sister.
Ellie Fanning.
Elle,
Elle
yeah,
Fanning. I'm
Elle
sorry.
Fanning.
Elle Fanning. Yeah.
Yes,
Mhm.
so she plays Catherine the Great. So obviously this takes place in I guess turn of the century Russia, right? After 1800s or early 1900s, I can't remember. Maybe it's late 1800s. But so it's a comedic dramatization of her rise to power.
Okay.
And so
I
obviously
haven't
they
even heard
take a
about this
lot
show, to
of
be honest with you. I
yeah,
don't,
and they take a lot of artistic liberties with history and make it funny and stuff, and a lot of sexual innuendo, a lot of funny things, elements coming in. But it is a very very good show on Hulu, half-hour episodes, so definitely watch. And it plays off on the rise of Russia at that time, and being one of the powers, and obviously Catherine coming in, being married to the czar, the king. But I can't remember who she married, but she kind of comes in and starts, being progressive in the 1800s, right? So they'll kind of play off on that. So obviously, you think 1800s, people are oppressed, there's the haves and haves not, right? Let them eat bread, right? Marie Antoinette, where she comes in and wants to feed the people and be the people's champion, and kind of displace the king because the king is just a complete, ass, honestly.
okay.
Huzzah!
This is one where this is definitely not the week for me to catch up on the show for obvious reasons.
Yeah, yeah, it's too much.
It's too much. I know usually the beginning of the week is pretty freed up, but we're kind of finishing watching shows that we start, from the previous weekend. If I get a chance, I'll probably wait till the next week when things kind of come. It's just too many shows. It is what it is. There's 8 stuff coming out, 6 of which I'm watching, and I really want to watch at least 5 out of those 6. Chewy for you
Yeah.
will be probably 6 out of the 6. So that being said, big week. So we'll have a big show next week. So tune in for that. I'll let you know what to tune into, what to avoid. As always, we appreciate you guys. Hopefully we can continue the wave here of getting your viewership, growing the channel. Again, share, subscribe, etc. Chewy, any parting words here?
I am looking forward to our rematch today from week 1, and I will come out victorious this time, which won't mean a whole lot because I'm still out of the playoffs at this rate.
So that's when I'm playing fantasy. I didn't even how to look yet.
Yeah, like you're already in, like you don't even give a rat's ass at this point.
Yeah, I'm like whatever. No, just
Yeah, exactly. You're whatever. I'm
counting
like,
down to the playoffs, dude.
I have my last chip in my chair. This is it. Which, speaking of which, obviously, World Series poker is ongoing right now. You can catch out on Poker Gold live online. But I did see this sick hand, quads over quads.
Wow.
I think it was day 2 DE or whatever.
Wow.
But it's pocket 6 is like in pocket 4. There's 5 players in the hand because there's no pocket pairs, right? The board comes out 6-4-4. So the guy flops quad fours
against full house.
The other guy was behind a full house, 6 on the turn. Like, holy cow!
Wow. Wow.
Naturally, at the river, it was two guys heads up. One raises with the forge, the other guy goes over the top. The forge goes all
All
in,
in. Yeah.
snap call, goodbye, good luck, and
Wow.
then thank you to the chip leader.
That's
Get
brutal. That's brutal. For
brutal,
those who are unfamiliar with
dude.
poker, even the odds of that happening are
Two
astronomical,
percent,
right? Yeah. If you,
2% to flop
yeah,
quads
and
and still lose. I know, no,
that's
2% to
to
flop and to
flop it.
lose is like even hot. The percentages are just
I would
ridiculous.
probably assume less than 1% easily.
By
By
far,
far,
by
yeah, like
far.
low, like point oh something, but it's minute to say the least. So, well, that's brutal. But Jesus, a good way to end the show. With that being said, we appreciate everybody. See you guys next week.
Pace.